What's up, everybody? Welcome to the CRWN Cinema Podcast. In this episode, we're going to watch one of my personal favorite movies. This is up there.
Wow.
I love this movie. We're going to watch The Nice Guys, starring Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe. This is such an underrated movie. Like, nobody's really seen it, and I think it's one of the funniest movies.
Okay, so just going to go ahead and say this because I've been seeing, like, on like Instagram and Twitter, like, you know, some of those film accounts that we follow or whatever.
Yeah.
It's so underrated that now it's starting to become recognized because so many people are starting to say, like, this movie was so underrated.
Dude, it's so good.
So it potentially might be getting more recognition than it initially got. It's been, I think, 3 years since I've seen this movie. So I don't remember much about it. I know Ryan Gosling. Yeah. I remember he like punches the window.
Yeah.
And he's like bleeding, and that's one of my favorite scenes. He's just like, oh shit, oh fuck. Oh fuck, that's a lot of blood.
This is like the perfect movie that represents Gosling's ability to be a comedy actor. This is really where you kind of see how funny he is as an actor, I feel like.
Yeah, well, because it's so... Yeah, because the other comedy movie that I'm a big fan of, I'm a real sucker for rom-coms. I have no shame in saying it, especially when I'm a little hungover. I have this weird thing where rom-coms... It's a weird thing. It's just always been this way.
What's your favorite rom-com?
Crazy Stupid Love.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, with Ryan Gosling. But he's playing like the cool guy, all collected or whatever, the womanizer.
Mm-hmm.
Not that that's cool, but anyways, fuck, we really got to watch what we say on here sometimes. But like in this movie, granted, it's been a while since I've seen it, I remember he's like just kind of a spaz a little bit. He's just like kind of like...
He's a loser.
He's a loser, right? Yeah, he's a little bit of
a terrible detective. He messes up all the time. He's a drunk who makes his 14-year-old daughter or 12-year-old, however old she is, drive him around after the bars.
Yeah, that's not very, like, that's not what LeBron James would do.
No.
You know, when I think
Probably
of winners, when I think of winners, that's not in the cards for him. But damn.
So this movie came out in 2016.
Okay.
It's got great reviews. So not really on IMDb. It's only got 7.4 on IMDb, which usually means it's kind of mid. But I don't believe this movie is mid. I think this movie's... It's not one of the greatest movies ever made. I'm not going to go that far, but it's one of my personal favorites to watch.
There you go.
I've seen it probably 4 times.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool. I honestly, there's like some pretty good action in it too, if I kind of remember correctly. Yeah. So, yeah.
It's a good bro comedy. It's like a bromance movie.
I mean, Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling in a weird little comedy together. I mean, who would have put that together?
And what gets better than that?
And I'll tell you what, I just watched... it's funny that we're watching this because I just watched a Russell Crowe movie 2 weeks ago. I don't remember what it's called, but he's the really pissed off driver. Have you heard of this?
I have heard of this.
Okay. Well, dude, he's just like fucking scary. Like terrifying. Also, he's
Is it
like,
not called Road Rage or something stupid like that?
It's something like that, but like pretty much he like gets honked at really loudly by some lady.
Unhinged.
Yeah. And like this dude like struck fear in my soul when I was watching this, because like at one point he goes after the main character's brother who has no idea what's happening and like puts gasoline on him and then makes him write a note to his sister saying like,
oh my God,
I'm like a terrible person, like you're a terrible person, like, you know, like I love you, but like I don't know, the note's like really messed up.
Is it comedic?
No, not at all. There is no comedy in this movie whatsoever.
But is it comedic of how road rage turned into this insane, just, you know, aggressive assault on this woman?
I'm sure if we were watching it for the podcast, I probably would have gone into it.
A lot of shit talking on this one, probably.
Yeah, like, but it is not funny. Like, it is very messed up. Like, he ends up doing it. Spoiler alert.
Kills her?
No, like her brother. Like he
lights him on fire.
He lights him on fire.
Jesus Christ!
It's messed up. He's also really fat. He gains a lot of weight for this movie.
Yeah,
so it's gonna be really nice. Kind of just seeing him in like a
what
lighter
a weird.
sense.
I mean, not a weird concept because it's, you know, relatable, I guess. But like, damn, getting really dark for road rage. But road rage is real. People do some crazy shit during road rage. People shoot each other. People get in fistfights in the middle of the road.
Dude, like I'll tell you what, like I get pissed off on the road all the time. Who doesn't? Especially like when you're living in the city or whatever, you just feel like you're driving a bunch like amongst a fuck ton of just idiots a lot. But dude, if I've learned one thing from just hearing stories, like I am not a flipper offer.
Me neither. I don't honk. I honk if somebody's like, "Hey, dude, you almost just fucking made me crash." That's when I'll do a little honk.
Or like if somebody's obviously like on their phone or something at like a left turn light and they're not going, just like a little meep, meep.
Yeah.
But like I will never just be like, "You freaking idiot!" Like I'll never do that because, especially in Texas. I mean,
yeah. I also don't really honk mainly because my horn is beep beep. It's a Honda Civic, so I drive a Honda Civic, so the horn is just bitch made.
Yeah.
I mean, through and through.
Yeah, you're not sounding tough whenever you're trying to like get the decked out.
No, every time
F-150 like to like go or anything. Or,
no.
Like you idiot. Like they're just like, I'll run your ass over.
No, every time I've honked,
destroy you.
Every time I've honked, I'm like, God damn it! I just get embarrassed. I'm like, what the? Oh, damn it!
One would say. A very feminine
very feminine
honk. My bad. But yeah, so it'll be nice. Like I said, I just saw that movie, so I'm a little scared of Russell Crowe right now.
This one, he's kind of scary in this one. Not scary, but he's definitely brutal.
He's like a badass. Like he actually like kind of knows what's up.
Yeah. He's like an actually good private investigator.
Right. Okay. So it'll be nice. Like I know like his toughness is like obviously like. Comedified.
Yeah, it's a comedy, action comedy.
I wonder if that's a word.
Comedified.
No way, that's a word.
If
it's not a word, I mean, at least I have it on video that I just made it up.
Comedified is not a word. Hate to break it to you.
You heard it here first.
Add it to the Webster dictionary.
Got him. Can I get paid for that?
Yeah, if you invent a word,
I should get
paid. Do you get any
right?
clout for that?
Clout, sure, but like I don't give a damn about that. I want that.
You think though? Think about new words. Like new words you add to the dictionary every day.
Look it up. Can I make up a word and get paid for it?
Word and get paid for it. Why would you? But why would you get what value? The only way if you make up a word and you trademark it, then that's how you make your money.
I just expanded the English language.
You expanded. I'll go even further. You expanded humanity's
in a sense
ability to communicate.
Yeah, like I have made something like an emotion or a thought be well articulated. Why in the hell would I not get paid for that now that I think about it?
What do you think? Because there's a lot of like dumb words that have become words. That like slang terms, like emoji is now in the dictionary. Obviously, that's a word we use nowadays.
Tweet,
is that a dictionary word?
Has to be. Look up like just tweet. I mean, obviously you'll get like the bird noise or whatever.
Right, the chirp. Okay, yeah, but yep. Number 1 says the chirp of a small or young bird, and number 2 on the dictionary, Oxford Languages, a post made on the social media application Twitter, X.
But that's unfair because obviously the Twitter owner is just getting paid for that. Elon Musk, I guess now. But like OG Twitter owner got paid just for Twitter in general.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder if he got paid a little bit more for adding a word to the dictionary.
I don't think so.
Probably didn't matter to him anyways. Anyways, so we're watching The Nice Guys. Is there anybody else in this movie that I'd know?
Let me see. Hold on. I will tell you though, Ryan Gosling. Oh, you know who's in it? Matt Bomer. That guy. He was in this show that I watched called White Collar.
Okay.
It was some stupid ass fucking sitcom. Not sitcom, but it was very much just television.
Little feel good.
Not really.
Little brainwashing. Just you don't really have to pay attention. It's just kind of there.
It's just like shittier TV, and it was about him. He was like a genius art thief, and the FBI hired him to help him with cases with these white collar crimes.
Okay.
That's how I knew him.
Yep, and that's why I've never heard of him.
It was a good show if I remember correctly, but stars Ryan Gosling, who I'd say is probably the top 3 favorite actors for me.
Okay. He's top notch.
I think I like him because I like his style, how he's fun, like his comedic timing is hilarious. I think
He's one of those actors that he's kind of like a Matthew McConaughey to me. Like he's playing different characters, but he brings a part of him with that character.
Yeah, it has that essence of him.
Yeah,
it's a different it's a different character, different feel, but
like
it still has that essence.
I feel the same about like Ryan Gosling, Ryan Reynolds, Matthew McConaughey, Brad Pitt. Honestly, like just those types of actors. Whereas you get like a Leonardo DiCaprio or a Russell Crowe or not Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro kind of brings a little bit of him with him too. But like there's so many other actors out there that like they truly are not the same person like at all.
Like DiCaprio is invested in that character
Yeah,
much.
He's a completely different human being.
Yeah.
And it's incredible. And I like that. Like that's impressive. But I also think it's impressive when you can bring a little piece of you to like essentially any character that you are.
Yeah, that is something where it's cool to be an actor that is devoted to your craft and you bring out a whole different person out of yourself to play this character. But you're right. It is also cool to have a little bit, your personality in there.
Yeah, because, I mean, we're talking about movie stars here. And, like, so obviously, people just follow famous people and kind of, they get a little invested in their lives and, they kind of just, like them or whatever. And then, so, like, when you see him on the movie screen, you're like, oh, there he is. Like, there's a little flash of him. Like,
yeah, because I'll watch DiCaprio is probably number one just because of his pure greatness in acting. And then number two is probably Ryan Gosling just because I enjoy him. But I go see both of their movies for different reasons. Like I watch it to go see them. So like I'll watch DiCaprio. If DiCaprio's in a new movie, I'm like, okay, yeah, sweet. Let me go watch the new DiCaprio movie because I want to see his performance. Because I also know that he selects great roles. So I want to see his performance in this movie that he thought was a great, movie. But I go see Ryan Gosling because I want to go see Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, I got you.
I want to see him, and he's probably gonna be a little funny. And even if there's a movie that he's in that maybe the movie's not that great, I still enjoy it because
you're a fan of Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, and his performance is always good.
I get that. Nothing wrong with a little
man crush,
little star crush, man crush, whatever.
All right, you want to go watch this thing?
I honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I'm really feeling it.
What about now?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go.
And we're back.
We just watched
The Nice Guys.
How good is that movie?
Great movie. Honestly, a lot funnier than I remember it being. But I watched it by myself. There's something to be said for like watching a funny movie like with somebody.
Yeah. It's much funner laughing with other people.
Because you get to look, you're like,
yeah,
there you go. Good movie. Damn, I don't know. I think I just caught on to like a lot more. This is a very dry humor type movie.
It's very witty humor. It's always like little bitty jokes dropped in.
But it's just so undertoned. So like if you're really not paying attention, especially like just what's happening in the moment, like you're just. It definitely, I could see why it went over my head like the last time I watched it.
Yeah, I guess if you're kind of just watching it just as like a background movie, it's not going to be as enjoyable.
Yeah.
If you're watching it and paying attention, it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, there's a lot of just good lines. Damn.
I just love how like as the movie progresses, okay, the storyline's a serious storyline and you are invested in the story. Like you want to find out what's happening. It keeps building. It gets crazy and crazier as they go. It's a very
intricate storyline for like a comedy movie.
But every time, there's never a dead spot. Right when it gets right when it gets to the peak, joke. Builds a little bit, joke. It's like just constantly just hitting you with punchlines the whole movie, and you're just cracking up between these, important scenes.
Yeah.
It's just, I feel like it's so perfectly timed with all these jokes throughout the entire movie.
Yeah. Or I think just a good thing about this movie that they do well at is just like, just these random, it's kind of like a Quentin Tarantino type feel in some of the decisions that are made in this movie, like just random things that just happen.
Yeah,
there's no reason for it. It just like the shit just happens.
I noticed that too. I took a good mental note. It's like, okay, when I'm writing movies, it's important to make sure that when the character does something, you need to make sure the unexpected happens, even more often than you'd think. Because like this movie, an example I thought was whenever it's whenever they throw the body over, they go back in the party, they get Amelia, and they're gonna, no, not Amelia. They get his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
What's her name? They get Holly, and they're gonna go leave. They're like, okay, sweet, let's go. They were gonna go the next scene. Like they already figured it out. They're moving past that scene, and as they leave, he gets caught by that black dude that tried to rob him.
Yeah.
In the first scene, or beat him up or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So like, unexpected plot twist, and then there's action.
I just think even just like the most random things, like I mean, what we were talking about before the movie, like when he just punches the glass window.
Yeah.
Because at this point, you think, okay, he's like kind of he's an alcoholic, he's like kind of a piece of shit, but like you don't know that he's like actually just like not really necessarily good at his job. So when he punches the window, the way he like wraps his fist up, it's like, oh, he's done this before.
Yes.
And he has, in fact, never done this before.
Yeah.
Because he hits it and then he just looks, he's like, like, and it's like, damn, yeah, like he just, it's like watching a movie and somebody does it so smoothly. So you're like, oh, that's just how it's done. And that is, in fact, not the case.
That's the best thing about the movie. The comedy isn't just in the dialogue or the acting, it's in the scenes, the mishaps.
Yeah.
There's so many funny aspects of this movie. It's just, it's hilarious, but it's not like it's not a 100% a comedy. Like the story is cool. It's a cool detective story.
Yeah. And that's like the best part is like you can kind of get away with, okay, so for instance, and I might get some hate for this. I don't care. Obviously, never. But the first Grown Ups movie, very well thought out. It's very funny. The second one, I don't think it's that funny because it's just like kind of stupid humor. Like it's just over the top. Like obviously they just made this movie to just make a little bit more money. Whatever. Obviously, whatever. But like in that movie, it's just over the top stupid shit.
Yeah.
And it's just not at all what the first one is. But the reason you can get away with it in a movie like this is because like these are like the cool guys. And like even when they do mess up, like they kind of like play it off a little bit.
Yeah.
But
and also a lot of the mess ups are funny. So you cut them some slack.
It's not over the top. It's just like, damn, like obviously we're mainly talking about Ryan Gosling's character because like he's the detective that just keeps like falling off the roof.
And his acting, his character is his character is a funny character, but his acting is perfectly timed. Every comedic scene he had, it's hilarious because he made it funny.
I wonder what. It's just a weird thing that like I just noticed, but like I don't know what the writers of this movie were like going for, and maybe this just went over our head, but like the killer bees in Brazil, like there were like 5 references to bees in this movie, and I'm just like, what is the obsession with the bees?
What was the first reference to the bees when they said the killer bees at the beginning?
Yeah, when Ryan Gosling's like reading the paper and it's like killer bees in Brazil, like takeover or something like that. It's bees. And like I think that's like kind of the funnier thing about it is like we never really get an explanation about like why Ryan Gosling just has this weird obsession with bees. But like, do we sound like idiots? Like, is there something we just totally missed?
I'm thinking about why. There's obviously has to be a reason. Because it pops up 3 times.
Yeah, I think like 3 or 4 times. Like it's like either mentioned or you see something. I mean, even at the very end, like there's a bee and Ryan Gosling's like killing it or whatever. And I think at another point, Ryan Gosling's like hammered and he says like these fucking bees. And then Hannibal Buress plays a bumblebee. Yeah. And
then he swats it and then he swats the bee at the end.
Yeah, and I have no idea what that connection is.
There are some aspects of this movie that are strictly there to make a joke, which I think is fucking hilarious.
Like what?
The dream scene, having the ankle gun.
That is one of the, because it got me.
That's the funniest, smartest implant joke you could put. He fucking set that up. We didn't realize that was a dream until after the fact. So we don't think about the gun being a dream. And then when he reaches for it and it's not there, we're both like, oh, fuck, that was the dream. We thought we was going to get the gun.
Yes.
So that's a callback he does.
But it's also like it's not pointless because if he doesn't get in that wreck, they don't find out that the lady didn't give them money.
I know, yeah. But
so like
but the plant of that gun is just strictly there for that joke later, right? So a possibility is the bee reference is strictly there for that joke at the end, showing that he read this thing about bees. He's supporting the bees. He's dreaming about the bees. He's like,
he's just always
like,
thinking about the bees.
Yeah, and so like now he feels like he's invested in it, or you believe that he's, invested in this world issue about bees, and then at the very end he fucking kills a bee. So it shows that he doesn't really believe in these causes. He just like he's not a believer in these causes. He might like support it for like a little bit, but realistically he doesn't support any of these things.
Yeah, and maybe you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, because so the end of this movie, essentially they save the day, whatever. They catch the bad guys, but then it's like, okay, like this is the government. You're not changing anything, whatever. And so maybe the connection, because he says at the end, he was like, I told you, like, nothing would change, like, whatever. And maybe he's, like, kind of got that thing with the bees, too. He's like, it doesn't matter, like, how much you talk about the bees. Like,
did you read what the newspaper said?
I just remember it says killer bees in Brazil. And maybe, I assume, like, maybe that article is talking about, like, how killer bees are, like, spreading to the United States. So Ryan Gosling just has, like, this super deep, hidden, dark fear of bees, and like nobody knows about it until the very end with Russell Crowe. Like, I don't know, like how the hell are we talking about that right now?
Yeah, exactly.
Like just such a weird little plant of like just a little subplot that you really don't get an explanation for.
Yeah, out of nowhere, there's a gigantic bumblebee sitting in the back of the car, and it's Hannibal Buress talking to Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe's character. Out of nowhere. Dream sequence.
So I like that.
Is that your favorite dream sequence in a movie?
In a movie?
Because you said the artist dream sequence was your favorite scene. Did this one top it?
I think the joke.
Yeah.
I mean, this is definitely one of the most like originally planted jokes. So, I mean, the artist was, I don't know, I guess a little bit darker. But this was just a great joke.
Yeah.
Like just the whole, because it fools me. Because you forget that he dreamed. So like, I'm not going to lie. Like after that scene, like I kind of forget about the dream. And I'm like, oh, he's got an ankle gun that's going to come into play later in the movie. Because I feel like there have been movies where you can like see somebody say like, oh, like that's why I always carry this with me.
Right.
Or then you're like, okay,
just cheap exposition.
Obviously later on that's going to like play like an important part. And so I think they're making fun of that aspect in a lot of movies. Like, I always keep old Betsy with me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they're like making fun of it and like
it ends up not being true.
It's a good joke. It's a good joke. I
think the funniest scene with Gosling is him in the stall.
Okay.
Like that acting is hilarious. Like it's the most awkward, like just he's losing in every situation.
Yeah, he's like, do you think I'm fucking stupid? As he's taking a dump.
Yes.
Got a magazine over, gun, and he can't open the door.
Eventually just gives up on it.
I thought that was good. My favorite, like, funny scene in this is definitely the elevator.
Yeah.
That is, like, there's just something to be said for a scene with no words that is executed perfectly. And just
because it has this giant buildup to getting up there. They're like, yeah, let's go get her. She could be dying, bro. Yeah. We have to go save her.
Yeah, they're at the bar, and he even like, they even give like a good line. He's like, Russell Crowe's like, it would be smart to just stay down here. And Ryan's like, you're right? Yeah, like it would. And then he's like, let's go. He's like, but you just said it would be smart to stay here. And Russell's like, I didn't say it was like what? I didn't say it was right.
Yeah, I didn't. No.
No. He said, or no. Oh, no. Ryan Gosling said, you just said it was a good idea to go up there. And he's like, no, I said it was smart.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a good line.
Yeah.
But it like builds up that they're about to like go be the heroes of this this whole hotel thing. You get like a Die Hard feeling for it.
Yep.
And then they go up. They see a dude dying because he just got shot in the neck. And then they look to the other side. And then there's just a guy just... And then they just go back to the elevator and close it.
Ding.
Yep. So that was a good scene. It's a good scene.
Yeah, I think it's one of my favorite movies because it's so funny. The storyline is good. And I think Ryan Gosling's acting is perfect.
Russell Crowe too.
Obviously.
I mean, I think I even said something to you like, there's some scenes where like you get that that real deal actor Russell Crowe,
Mm-hmm.
when he, when he's killing somebody pretty much.
Yep.
He can turn into a menace. He can turn it on at any given moment.
But a lot of the, I'd probably say 50% of the things we laughed at are Gosling's is acting, like him being awkward or the way he moves or the way he says something.
Yeah.
The writing is obviously witty. The writing's pretty good, but without Gosling carrying those jokes, I don't know if it'd be as funny. His performance just really brings out the humor and everything.
God, I'm just trying to think. I can't remember exactly what was said, but he's at the bar.
Oh, at the very end?
No, not at the very end. It's honestly at the beginning when they go to the first party, and he says something to the bartender. God, I cannot remember what he said.
They're talking about killer bees.
Something, was it?
He's like, why do they call them killer bees? Or something about killer bees. He's like, well, you know why they call them killer bees? Why? Because they kill people. Oh, yeah.
He's like, makes sense.
Yeah.
He's because when you're a detective, I feel like, you're not trying to make friends with people. And part of the reason is that you just don't really care for people to like you.
Right.
And so whenever they do actually try and be friends with people, they're just so annoyed by the stupidity of conversation.
It also shows, you just mentioned him being a detective. He just assumed, oh yeah, killer bees. Yeah, I guess you're right. He didn't even think about it being a detective. He didn't care about discovering the truth. He just took that guy's word for it.
He was all right, yeah, makes sense. Yeah. But so there was a lot of good in it. Got a little cheesy at the end.
Yeah, there's one joke. I forget the joke, but there's one that doesn't land. It's a little corny. It's at the very end during the big action scene. It's like a one-liner joke, and it's too corny. Me and you both didn't even react to it because it's that was cheap.
Is it when Ryan Gosling said, "Oh, the guy's who are you?" Or, damn, I don't know. Ryan's "I'm in a hurry."
No, it wasn't that one. There was shootouts going. I don't remember what it was.
I don't know.
It was something that was said. Anyway.
The corniness is when Russell Crowe finally has John Boy or Johnny Boy, whatever his name is, and he's about to kill him. And Holly, Ryan Gosling's daughter, is if you kill him, I'll never talk to you again. And it would have been way funnier if he had just squeezed harder.
Yeah.
Instead,
But then you got to show that, because obviously Russell Crowe's character loves her, sorry.
Well, and they're trying to be good people.
Yeah, but the whole movie, he's always kind of on her side. He's always, he sees her stepping through her house when he first meets Ryan Gosling at his house to beat him up. He lets her show him her imaginary house, and he's always kind of supporting her and kind of being there for her.
Yeah.
So he has a little soft spot there for her. So her innocently saying, "I'll never speak to you again." He's like, "Damn, I don't want to hurt her feelings."
Yeah.
It just kind of shows how important it is.
He's a nice guy.
He's a nice guy.
Okay, one line that I would have changed is after the first party, the original creepy dude with the blue face gets ran over by the van.
Yeah.
And Russell Crowe is he shoos Holly off, and then he's about to kill her.
Yeah.
Or kill him. And the guy's they've heard of you, and they're sending John Boy, and he's going to kill that guy and his family, and then you're next. And then he starts laughing. He's like, you don't have long. And I really wish Russell Crowe, because what Russell Crowe said was, yeah, well, none of us do. I wish, because this would have been bad. It would have been more badass to me. He's like, you don't have long to live. I wish Russell Crowe had been longer than you.
Mm-hmm.
Gah! It's damn, that was set up perfectly. That was my first thought. I'm sure Russell Crowe being the badass. I bet he could have thought of that too.
Yeah.
So I remember I heard that and I was like, ugh,
missed opportunity.
So close, right there.
With you rewatching this for the
second time
in a while, did you remember anything from it?
The only thing that I started to remember was that Amelia's mom was like kind of in on it.
Yeah.
I remember like when they were getting hired by her, I was like, oh shit, she's not good. But other than that, no, I honestly I couldn't remember the plot.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't remember like the ending or anything. So it was like pretty much a fresh watch.
Yeah, fresh watch.
Yeah, so
Yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite movies.
I could see why. I mean, it's like this is definitely up there with like a Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, like we've talked about. Like just that movie you can just like put on.
Yes.
Just a good movie, funny. Like you don't have to pay crazy close attention to it. Right. You can just kind of pop back in, watch it, and still really appreciate it
because it really keeps you going. Because it's just like joke, movie, joke, movie, joke. It just hits you throughout the entire movie.
Yeah. So I can understand that, like being a favorite.
Yeah, it's top.
How many times have you seen this movie?
This is probably my 5th time watching it.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I'll throw it on, like you said, just when I want to watch it. And I showed Mercedes, and I think I've showed somebody else, and then I've watched it with somebody. Like like when you're spending the night with the buddy, he's like, "Let's watch this movie." That's my movie to choose.
No, literally today, you suggested a movie, and I was like, "Man, that sounds like a lot."
Yeah.
I was thinking, maybe we should do a comedy. Because, I mean, when is the last time we did, like, a real comedy?
Yeah, the movie I was going to pick, dude, I was honestly thinking, like, dude, I don't... Because me and Gray both had kind of a long day today. Woke up pretty early today. Gray had a pretty hectic day.
Yep.
And so I really was like, dude, I will, but I don't really want to, like, think too hard.
Yeah, like, my brain is kind of mush, Like,
I'm not really sure if I'm ready to analyze a movie right now.
Yeah.
And then have to talk about it.
Yeah. Like, I wanted to come over, have a little whiskey, have a couple laughs.
Hey,
just chill out. And you know what? It was the right decision. I'm glad this is what we did.
This was the perfect movie, I think, for tonight. Like, this is the vibe I needed.
Yeah.
Some enjoyable, funny, laughing.
Yeah. Like
a good one that I love.
Yeah, not trying to watch some long, deep drama movie where like I really need to be taking notes.
Mm-hmm.
And no, it was just shooting the shit.
Yep. And this movie's cool too because I think every time I've watched it, I've noticed something or a joke has hit me. Like, sometimes you miss some shit.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Yeah.
What I say in the beginning, I realized. Going back to him cutting his wrist. Like the past 4 times I've watched it, I didn't realize. When he slipped his wrist and goes to the hospital, gets him stitched up, a nurse, when he's waiting for the car, she's like, "Do you need to are you looking for God?" Because she thought he killed him. He was trying to kill himself.
Yeah, she's like,
his wrist.
"Are you like willing to accept God in your life or something like that?" And yeah, good. Yeah.
So I didn't catch that one of the first 4 times I watched it.
Yeah. Another thing that they didn't even address in the movie, and I was kind of waiting on him to, is John Boy shows up to the house as the family doctor.
Yes.
And he's family doctor. So he walks in there and he's looking for Amelia and he sees Holly's like friend that's staying the night. He's like, "Oh, is this her?" And being the little detective daughter that she is, like she kind of just realized, she was like, "How the fuck would you not know if you're the family doctor?"
Mm-hmm.
But like when he said it and I heard it, like I didn't think twice about it. But you said something, so I kind of was expecting them to say something.
Yeah.
I thought you were like kind of spoiling it a little bit. Never got addressed.
Nope.
No. So
that's what I got. That's something else I caught too.
Good, I caught it. Good little pickup.
Yeah, I wonder, did she catch that?
She never, if she does, like she never says anything, but obviously she has to because
it never really showed how she knew, because she just kind of flipped a switch
and
was turning on him.
That's the only viable reason. But I think that's even like, that's like cooler writing.
Yeah.
To like, because like when you're thinking like how the like, because I did notice there was like one plot hole. Can't remember, but we'll get back to it. But like
how he went outside after he threw her out of the house.
Oh yeah. Well, anyways, like people might just be like, now how would that little girl know that he was the killer? If he's saying he's the doctor, like he didn't do anything. And then if you really think about it, that's exactly how you would find out, because he's the family doctor and he did not know who Amelia was.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, that was a plot hole that I did notice shortly after that scene. He like throws her friend out of a window and he can totally like kill all of them, which is what he was gonna do.
Yeah. I think it's what I think the plot hole. I think what happened was he threw her out of the window. He left because she had the gun, and then he went to go get the machine gun just to take them all out. Because he dropped his bag, which probably had his gun in it, so he just went to the car to get a gun.
It would have been smarter to just pick up the bag.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because he walked out of that. It's not like he ran out to the house to go to his trunk.
And how did he throw her out of the house? I don't remember exactly.
Throws out a window.
I know, but like, how did he get to that point? What led up to that?
Oh, she like ran.
Oh, he just grabbed her and tossed her
Like
out.
she ran like a scared little girl, and like got a little too close to proximity, and he picked her up and threw her like a rag doll. This movie didn't have that many limits. I mean,
No.
like we just said, I mean, in this scene, like this grown-ass man just picks up a 12, 13-year-old girl and just chunks her ass out of a window.
Yeah. This movie is a good example of a movie that builds. It gets crazier and crazier, and more and more shit happens.
Definitely.
And sometimes some crazy shit happens literally for just a joke.
Yeah, and then there's like the plot twist, like you think Amelia is gonna make it all the way to the end, like
Yeah.
And what a anticlimactic death,
Right?
Yeah.
You don't really expect it to end that way.
No, I mean even literally, I mean John, his reaction, like when she's like out on the street, he's like, huh. Or no, he's like, damn, what did he say? It's pretty much just like, no fucking way, like
When
Amelia runs out of Ryan Gosling's house, and she runs to the road and she's like hitchhiking.
Yeah, he's like, you got to be kidding me, or something like that.
It's something like that, and then like just pops her in the face, and that's it.
Bad luck.
Yep.
I think the editing of this movie is really good. That's something I don't talk about too much, but this movie, it stuck out to me because a lot of times it'll just jump into the next scene at the perfect time. Like, for example, whenever Gosling is calling, what's the Amelia's mom? What's her like mom's assistant? The black girl. What's her name?
Oh no,
Tanya or something like that. Talia, something with the T.
might be Tanya because Ryan's
It's not Tanya, but it's something like that. Talia or something like that. Oh, whatever, doesn't matter.
Where are you, Scott?
Scott,
We miss you, Scott.
making us look like idiots. Anyway, so he calls her and she goes, "Can you do something for me? I need you to go and take this bag of money. I need 2 strong men to do it." And it immediately cuts to the car driving away. There's a lot of points like that where it'll just jump into the action to keep it flowing. And then it made me think of that when you mentioned how the writing in the movie kind of just lets you assume things, like knowing she picked up that he didn't recognize who his family patient was.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with the editing. It doesn't show you too much because whenever, I don't know if you notice this because it's very, very small detail. You have to like be really, I noticed it after watching it a few times, but Gosling pays $20 to Chet to go see the house.
Yeah.
And then the kid who's like, want to see my dick? Got a big dick. He also asked for $20 to give him information. And if you notice, Russell Crowe's character paid him $20 because Gosling was like, you got to take it this time.
Oh, yeah, because he's cheap. Yeah.
And you didn't see, like, it wasn't showing Russell Crowe doing it, but you saw his hand come out to do it.
Yeah, I did not see that.
That's just cool how I think it's important for movies to trim the fat, keep what's only necessary of the story, to keep it as pure as possible. And you see his hand, you have enough information available to know who paid him if you care to know. Like, they give you everything you need to know to figure out whatever you want to figure out, but they don't make it too obvious to tell you.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of just subtle things in this movie. And I think that's definitely why it went like a little underrated. Like, I mean, because think about it. Like, I mean, we were talking about it. At the end of this movie, they totally set it up for a sequel.
Yes, dude. Sequels, like,
we the people failed this movie. They wanted to make a second one.
They officially teamed up at the end. They were like, they had an ad. They made their own agency together, or their own investigation.
And it's not just that. Like, it's the fact that they won, but they didn't really win. And and I think maybe the second movie, like Russell Crowe's going to be drinking too, or something like that. Like,
it's hilarious.
And so they set it up perfectly, but I think just the dry humor in this movie just went over too many people's heads.
Maybe.
But like, if you're really paying attention, like it's funny. Like, you know.
I mean, Shane Black has made some funny movies. Like he did. This one isn't funny, but he's made Lethal Weapon. He did something else too, but he's a writer-director. Usually writer-directors have pretty good movies because the movie is 100% their vision.
It's yeah.
They wrote it, know exactly how the characters were supposed to talk, know the exact tone, because they always talk about when you're writing a script, you don't want to include too much information. You want to leave it as bare bones as possible because you want the director and you want the actors to be able to have their own creative freedom inside of the character that you built.
Yeah.
However, sometimes that doesn't line up, and sometimes the actor and the director don't have the same vision as the writer. If the writer's not, heavily involved in the production process, so it can get changed, and maybe the writer's vision got swayed and it wasn't as good because, maybe they had different ideas for the storyline.
There's just different interpretations of characters and how they act, yeah.
But if you have a writer-director, they got their specific vision, they tie everything together in their head, and then they usually get it out, and it's usually pretty good. So yeah. Oh, he did Iron Man 3.
Okay.
That was probably one of the better Iron Man. That was a pretty good Iron Man.
There's some humor in it as well, obviously.
Yep. Yeah, he did all the Lethal Weapons.
All of them?
All of them.
Did he write them too? Or just directed them?
Oh, hold on, let me see. I know he directed them. Yes. Oh, no, he wrote them, sorry.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, he wrote them. Let me make sure. Let me triple check that. Because it's on his IMDb, but yeah, writer Shane Black. So he wrote every Lethal Weapon. So he's a writer first, which is cool.
Yeah.
He's not a director first, he's a writer first. Okay, this says Predator. He wrote Predator?
Maybe he was just part of the team.
Let's find this out.
Did he write Predator?
He doesn't look that old, but it's in 87, so. No. Why is he listed on this and when he's not a director or a writer? How could you be in it?
Involved.
Shane Black was an actor in it.
Who's Shane Black?
That's what he looks like. I don't recognize him.
I kind of recognize him.
Do you? Yeah, he played. He mainly writes. I guess he just acted in Predator one time. That's interesting.
My headphones keep cutting out.
Do they? Oh, look, they're not plugged in. Your foot hit them. Oh. There you go.
And we're back.
Yeah, this is a good movie. All right, Gray. The infamous question. What do you rate The Nice Guys?
7.
It's fair. Why 7?
It's funny. It's not like, because they're going for comedy, so it's funny, but they're also going for a good. So I'll tell you what, the storyline's good. Very intricate, good plot twist, all that. Yeah, but I wasn't dying laughing, but it's an enjoyable movie. There's just not much for me to say. I mean, I enjoyed it, but it's not some crazy good movie.
Well, I give this movie, I'm going to give it an 8.5.
That's your God-given right, man.
I just enjoy it so much. I've never been bored watching it. I've always enjoyed putting it on. It's always been a good pick.
There's a little bias in the opinion, absolutely, yeah.
I mean, not even biased. I don't have any real tie to it. It's just that I've watched it and I've enjoyed it.
I think it's so witty. God-given right.
Yeah, I think it's so witty, and I love the comedic timing of the whole movie. From the editing to Ryan Gosling's acting to the jokes to the writing, everything is just, I feel like it's perfectly constructed. There's so many, I don't really have any flaws for the movie. That's not true. I do agree that at the end there's some kind of corny jokes. It kind of gets a little. I wish I remember what that one joke was that I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, I truly did not catch it, or I probably did, and I was just lame. Probably so lame that I forgot about it.
Yeah, it was pretty lame. It was a one-liner that was an obvious yeah, not good. But
you know what? I do like the funny when Ryan Gosling lands in the pool.
Yeah.
And fucking President Nixon.
yeah.
You hear about that reference, and then you
Because earlier in the movie,
it was kind of a jump scare too. Like I saw it, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Because earlier in the movie, there was a scene where they talked about a guy that was dying, and right before he died, Richard Nixon came up to him. Like the story he's telling is true in the movie. Richard Nixon came up to him and told him everything's gonna be okay, and then immediately died after that. So Gosling falls from the fucking roof of a building, the rooftop bar of a building, into the pool, turns and sees Richard Nixon like telling him he's gonna be okay. He's like, what the fuck? No. No.
But it's just like the creepiest Richard Nixon, like in the pool, like kind of like a shark from a distance type shot.
Yeah.
And so like he's like just looking, like swimming, and it's like, oh, kind of creepy. Okay. And then so I like that, but the funnier part is like when Ryan and Russell Crowe like finally link back up.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, what are you doing down here? Like, you're supposed to be on the rooftop bar. And he's like, yeah. He's like, you fell.
Yeah.
You fucking fell again.
That's not the first time he's fallen from a building.
And then he falls again, falls through like the glass ceiling.
Yep.
Yeah. Like,
After he discovered, I think I'm invincible.
yeah. He's like, I think I'm invincible. I mean, yeah. So it's 7.
There you go. Have you been so you started the season 2 of Invincible?
Yeah, I'm caught up on it.
I haven't started season 2. I rewatched season 1 because
Good.
I didn't remember, because when we started I knew I finished it, but I started season 2 and I was like, wait, they went to Mars?
Yeah.
I was like, wait, this happened?
That's what I do with a lot of shows though, like with The Boys. Like
Yeah.
I remember like the new season came out, so I watched the previous season. I would do the same thing with Game of Thrones, like that type of thing. It's the best thing to do.
You watch
then-
Game of Thrones live?
No.
Oh.
No, by the time I started Game of Thrones and finished Game of Thrones, by the time I finally caught up, it was the last 2 episodes ever.
Okay.
So it was pretty awesome. Like I caught up to the community, and it's like I did it perfectly, honestly.
Yeah, that's pretty good timing.
Because like I got to catch up with the community, and then like last 2 episodes, like you get to wait a little bit.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice. It's fun because like everybody's on Twitter, like just talking a lot of shit, like oh dude, all the predictions, theories, whatever. And so I got a little taste of that on the last 2. It was perfect. Then it ended, and I was like, well, I wasted no time.
You've been tweeting.
I tweet.
Have you started to tweet?
I've been tweeting.
Have you?
Yeah. I'm a tweeter. I'll tweet every once in a while.
Dude, is your Twitter like really dark?
What do you mean?
Well, every time I get on Twitter, my shit is just showing like people getting killed, like crazy shit happen. Like
It's because you watch Joe Rogan.
I just started getting on Twitter. Like I have no algorithm. It's just showing me like violence.
I'm so sorry. But I mean, that algorithm is probably somewhat based off of like other things that you watch. I don't know. But no, I don't have like murder on my timeline. It's usually just stupid, funny shit.
Yeah, mine's always fucking. I guess maybe because I don't know why, dude. To be honest, let me scroll. So,
You probably know why.
this one's a guy stalking a girl. It's and brutally stabbing her 75 times. It's like, dude, I don't want to see these things. Like, but I also can't stop watch. I can't like not click on it for some reason.
Well, then that's why it keeps
Unless
popping
it's
up.
too bad, unless it's really bad, I'm like, dude, I can't. Here's one. Here's like a guy getting robbed, and the guy kills him, like shoots him. It's like so much death. I saw a video the other day of a guy's on Instagram Live with his 3 buddies, and the guy's got a gun. He's like irresponsibly swinging it around, fucking shoots his buddy in the head on accident because like he was just fumbling the gun, and the trigger pulled, and bah! The dude falls over, and like blood is coming out of his head. He survived. Thank God I didn't watch that man get shot in the head and die. But dude, my Twitter is just, I can't get on Twitter right now because it's just like death. And I'm like, dude, I can't see this kind of shit. What's going on? Is this what free speech means? Death on my phone?
I mean, I follow Nature is Metal. So like I'll see animals get killed every once in a while, but
That's
like
cool, though.
that's just nature,
That's just nature.
That's literally just what life would be like without humans. There's just no stopping that. There's no cruelty. That's just the way it is. But I have that. That's minuscule though. I mean, most of my shit is like LeBron James highlights and Dallas Cowboys. And like funny stuff. I don't know, like stupid funny stuff.
Mine used to be funny, but now it's just like political shit and just things and just death. And
I'll start sending you some of my stuff.
please get me out of this hellhole I'm in.
I'll help you. I had no idea it was so dark. I know. Like, maybe it's because I tweet kind of funny stuff too. Like, I tweeted last night. It wasn't even true. I just made it up. It wasn't. But it's kind of true.
It's happened before.
No. My roommates.
What was your tweet?
It was, my dog only goes number 2 when I watch her. Or, I don't know. You want to pull it up?
I'll pull it up.
Yeah, you read it.
All right, I'll read it. Let me pull up Mr. Gray Pittman's Twitter. Fun fact, my dog only goes number 2 if I watch her go. Another fun fact, there's shit on my floor.
Yeah, so.
Woke up a winner.
Dallas Cowboys, baby.
Okay.
I did wake up a winner.
I see. Oh, you have been tweeting.
Yeah, I tweet.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice. I thought it was, because I knew you were off social media. Tell us about that. Why'd you leave social media?
You got to take a hiatus every once in a while.
I've never done that.
Got to take a little break. I mean, it wasn't even that long. It was like 5 days, 6 days. But just clean slate. Got stuff done. And
how could I do that while also keeping posting going?
See? Could
I just post on my computer or something like that?
I mean, you can just post and then not look at anything else.
That's so hard.
But I mean, that's essentially what you would have to do.
Because sometimes I go on Instagram to post or Crown Reels or whatever.
Something catches your eye.
I get on there, I scroll, I get off my phone and go back to work. I'm like, wait, fuck, I gotta post that reel.
Yeah.
I get distracted because it's built to get distracted.
Yeah. But
oh, and also on Twitter I followed Andrew Tate a while ago. So now I just see his tweets all the time. And he had the funniest tweet. It was like a 10-year-old kid. It was a picture of a article or something where it said a 10-year-old kid started a petition to change the nerd emoji because it's offensive to people that wear glasses.
Mm.
And then Andrew Tate quoted the tweet and said, "Get a life, you little nerd."
And that's the shit that just gets you going.
Just hilarious. I saw another one. I'm not gonna say this one. Never mind.
Yeah.
Twitter's a dark place for me. At least.
For some. I mean, Twitter's just kind of easy going for me.
Send me some tweets, dude. To get me out of here.
I will, dude. Like, pretty much when I get on Twitter, I scroll for maybe 3 minutes, not that long, and then I look at I have 3 people that I'm constantly exchanging funny tweets with.
Mm.
Look at those, talk some shit, and then I'm off. And then I'll see you in the next few hours.
I always have a funny tweet in mind, but like I told you, during our pre-podcast discussion, I overthink my messages.
Yeah, you can't do that. So who really cares?
I care that I don't get read out of context, and I'm really particular about somebody making I write my stuff very carefully, hoping that I don't get misinterpreted.
Yeah.
Because that's happened a couple of times. I don't have any specific examples of why this is important to me. Maybe I don't have any traumatic memories of a text being read wrong. I have to make sure that's perfect. I don't know why I do this, but I always think very hard. I try to write it carefully to make sure my message is portrayed perfectly. Make sure I'm not out of context. I don't know why I do this.
I just think it's funny, with my Twitter, I'll just tweet random shit. One of the most random things I remember kind of tweeting, it wasn't that long ago, but it was a little ways away. But I just had this random thought, and it was about A Bug's Life and how the grasshoppers are the villains in it.
Are they? I haven't seen A Bug's Life in a minute.
Yeah, well, the grasshoppers are mean to the ants or whatever. And I had this thought. I was like, damn, grasshoppers, I don't think they're really that mean in the insect world. And so I tweeted, I was like, I bet if grasshoppers were able to comprehend A Bug's Life story, they would not be fans of it. I tweeted that. That was a thought that I published to the world.
You should have came up with a racist, ist, grasshopperist.
Yeah, something like that. But like
that's buggist.
I just, to me, it's like kind of funny to like say some stupid shit like that just pops up into my head, because like when my days are over, because nobody's paying attention to my Twitter now.
Why not?
Because who cares? And but then like when I'm past, like when I'm like dead or whatever, and like people are like remembering me and they're like going through my Twitter, they're like, what the hell was he talking about? And then people will get like a better laugh about it when I'm dead.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna start tweeting.
It's like it's just a really long joke to me. I'm just saying stupid shit.
Yeah, you know what? Your tweets only get taken the right way when you tweet a lot and they understand your humor over time.
Yeah, I'm not doing it to like necessarily impress anybody.
You're
like,
doing it for fun.
I literally do it because I know, because I remember when Twitter.
You think it's funny to tweet that.
I think it's funny to tweet that. And but the other thing is, like, I remember, especially like, you know, when I was like 16, 17, like, Twitter was the shit. Everybody was tweeting, blah, 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 whatever. Nobody tweets anymore. Like, the people that I know. Like, everybody's just a retweeter.
I got off Twitter before Elon Musk bought it because it was just so
kind of boring,
and it was just everybody's getting offended on it. I'm like, and everybody's getting censored. I'm like, dude, this sucks.
Yeah, but like now, like, it's just funny because I go back and like nobody else is tweeting, so I'm like, I'm not talking to anybody. Like, nobody sees this, and nobody's gonna say anything because they're all scared to. But I'm just like, I don't care. Like, I'll literally nobody's seeing my tweets. That's the beautiful part.
130 people saw your tweet. You can see how many eyes view it.
Yeah, people might have like just scrolled past it.
No, I think a view has to be like they actually kind of stopped.
They clicked on it?
Not clicked on it, but they at least stopped and read it.
Huh.
112 people on Woke Up a Winner. 173 people on Fun Fact.
Nice.
What's your most retweeted tweet? Is there a way to filter that?
My most retweeted tweet. God, I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know if I can.
I've had Twitter for a long time now. You
haven't had like a viral, like not viral, but like a.
I was part of a viral tweet, but I've never put anything out there.
You see Elon Musk on that interview talking about advertisers that didn't want to advertise on Twitter?
No.
Some guy was interviewing Elon Musk talking about, you know, these advertisers that are boycotting you. He's like, are you going to change your policies or change like the rules on the platform so that way these advertisers don't leave? He's like, no. He's like, wait. He's like, I don't care if they boycott or don't want to advertise. Like, it's because it's Disney. Disney's boycotting X. Like, they're not advertising on Twitter. And Elon Musk is like, he's like, no, I don't care if they don't want to advertise. He's like, what do you mean you don't care? Because Disney's obviously a huge, you know, advertiser on. They have so much money, it funds the company.
Yeah. And
he said, if you're gonna blackmail me with money, with advertisements, go fuck yourself. He said, go fuck yourself. Is that clear? He said, I feel like that's pretty clear. He's like, I don't give a fuck if you don't want to advertise on my platform.
I think it's funny because, like, dude, he's so rich. Like, Twitter's just like, he doesn't care. Like, he's got so much money that Twitter is just the last of his like real worries. Like, all he wants is for it to just be a free platform. People can say stuff,
say whatever they want.
Yeah, as long as it's like truly not detrimental.
Yeah,
like,
as long as you're not inciting violence and like doing illegal activities on Twitter.
Yeah, like it's just a tweet. Like, chill the fuck out.
Yeah. He told Joe Rogan on the podcast he was recently on with him that he bought Twitter because he bought Twitter because he felt like he had to save humanity. Because he felt like all these...
I remember when that was all going down.
All these community...
And it was. I mean, Twitter was kind of starting to suck.
Yeah, it did suck. I literally deleted it because I'm like, this is just political and I'm out. Yeah. This is boring.
I mean, and like, obviously, that's fine. But, you know, don't want to step on any toes here, but like, it definitely felt like there was like a little propaganda going on. Like, I was
100%.
I was getting showed a lot of content that I was like, well... you know, two sides to every story, but we're only getting one side, one narrative. And so I guess I took a little break from it, but I don't know. At the end of the day, I was still just getting a lot of funny shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I stopped using Twitter because of it, but now I have it again and I'm just getting shown death.
Yeah. Like I like NBA players have the best Twitter accounts for whatever reason. I guess the NFL, like there's some players out there that like are kind of funny too, but like NBA players on Twitter are one of my favorite parts. Like that is one of my favorite Twitter communities to follow because
NBA players.
Yeah, because like they will like Kevin Durant will go drop like 53 on a team, and then as soon as he's back in the locker room, he's like talking shit to his haters.
Why does he care so much about those haters?
I don't care. I think it's so funny. Like, I don't even think he cares. He's probably tweeting for the same reason that I tweet. He's like, dude, I don't care. Like, he tweets so much because he doesn't care.
Or he does care.
No, like, yes, you could spin it that way, but think about all the players that, like, don't tweet because they don't want people to think that they care about their haters. But, you know, deep down they do. KD's like, bro, this is some, like, okay, perfect example. So the house that I live at right now, our dishwasher has a KD quoted tweet. And
what does it say?
It's this lady's like, you know, saying like telling KD like, you know, he's like a bitch boy, whatever. And KD asks her, he was like, what did you do today? Like he's like, I just played in the NBA final game 2 today. Like what'd you do today? And she was like, well, I did the dishes in my house. And he was just like, congratulations on doing the dishes. Like, you've made everybody around you better. Like, you're such a good person, you know, and like, he's just trolling her. And like, I think that's funny.
That is funny.
Or like, I remember, I think it's, his name's CJ McCollum. And like, he was kind of struggling in a playoff game. And this like random lady Twitter account was like, step it the fuck up. Like, you're playing like shit and we're losing because of you. Like, these are the playoffs. Like, why are you not playing good? And he just quotes it and he's like, I'm trying.
I've seen that before.
Yeah. And I just think that's the funniest thing.
It is. I've seen some funny things of NBA players on podcasts.
Yeah. Podcasts are starting to get pretty good.
I forget who it was. It's I think it was Jordan Poole, maybe, when he was playing LeBron James in the finals.
No, it's not Jordan Poole. It's, oh my God. I know who you're talking about because he's like becoming one of the funnier like NBA. Everybody's like, damn, like but I cannot think of his name right now. And I'm so embarrassed.
Whoever it was, he like pushed LeBron, shoved him into the stands.
Yeah, and he's like, damn right, I just pushed him in the stands. Like, this dude has beat me in every playoff game I've ever played him in. Like, I'm pissed. Like,
yeah, the interviewer's like, bro, like, why'd you push him, man? Like, come on. He's like, bro, he's like, I was pissed. He's like, I beat him. I was like, honestly, I was just mad. He's been beating me every single time.
Yeah. And then like he just started saying like, I started getting messages like some dude was like, bro, like I'm gonna fucking kill you. And he's like, that's when I realized I need to like calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
It's Twitter's funny, but to me, like it's just nothing to really be taken that seriously.
Yeah. I'm gonna start tweeting.
Yeah.
Just random thoughts.
Twitter, baby.
Twitter.
Back to the movie. Damn, wow. I think that's like the most sidetracked we've ever gotten on this
we got
podcast.
pretty sidetracked in the beginning. That's okay. Sometimes the tangents are good.
Let's go. It's a comedy movie. I mean,
this is a low-key episode. We're drinking whiskey.
We're drinking whiskey. You got a wedding.
Got a wedding tomorrow.
Yeah.
Not getting married.
Not yet.
Just getting drunk.
Coming soon.
Coming soon in 2024. Remember those old DVD? Coming soon in theaters.
Should we do a podcast on your wedding day?
Yeah.
Like dressed up in suits.
All the boys are on it.
Yeah, no, like they don't even say anything. Like just have them standing around.
Just
like
drinking in the background.
Yeah, literally like they have no interaction whatsoever. They're literally just there in the back.
Let's do it. I mean, our gear ain't that much.
We'll watch Wedding Crashers.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Yeah. All right, we just watched The Nice Guys.
Yep.
I gave it a 7, 8.5.
8.5. I highly recommend this movie.
I do too. It's like it's a chill movie. Like you don't have to dive deep into it. No. You can just enjoy it. But like
it's thoroughly enjoyable.
I would recommend paying attention to it because then you pick up on like why it's funnier than what people thought it was at the beginning when it first came out.
Yep.
So I would recommend it. It's a 7, but a 7 to me means that it's a watchable movie. You
7's pretty high on grayscale.
Yes. So.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all for listening. We appreciate the viewership, and we hope you enjoy the episode. And if you want some merch, crowncinemashop.com. And Mr. Gray Pittman, we are out.
Well, I've been working like a dog trying to buy my next meal. Seems all I do is drive. And when the boss man sends my next check in the mail, I'll have enough for closing time. And I've been cussing like a sailor since I ran out of weed. My tank is running dry, so I'll head on down to the railroad track and tell that man I need a ride. He says you're just in luck 'cause there's one more seat. There's just one more thing before you proceed. Just throw me a $5 and we'll call it a deal.